Is the Lord's Supper symbolic, or is there a real presence there? Well, let's look at what the early Christians believed. Clement of Alexandria says in The Instructor that the wine is a symbol of the blood and the bread a symbol of the body. Origen, in Homilies on Leviticus, argues that drinking the blood of Christ is reading the scriptures, which explains the language used in John 6:48-58. Tertullian argues that Christ made the bread holy, but even he predominantly refers to the Eucharist as figures and symbols. What about the Bible though? What does it say about the Lord's Supper? Well, Paul mentions in 1 Corinthians 11:24 and 25 that communion is supposed to be done in remembrance of Jesus. The main argument for real presence is the idea that Jesus was being literal when he spoke of the Eucharist being his blood and body. But this conveniently ignores all of the allegories he uses throughout the rest of the Gospels, such as describing himself as a vine or a door. Plus, if there's real presence, then that would be in direct contradiction to Acts 15:20, where we're specifically forbidden from drinking blood. Obviously, Jesus is with us when we partake of the Lord's Supper, but I would argue that the actual bread and wine are just symbols of Christ's sacrifice for the world.